We also have a CNN exclusive to tell you about. Jihadi John in a tape made when he was a teenager. Does it help us better understand how he went from a civilian to a savage? CNN's Atika Schubert has more from London. Atika, what do we learn?
That's right, Chris. This is incredibly rare footage, and it's really the first time we see Mohammed Amwazi, the man who would eventually become Jihadi John, as a teenager. Take a look.
Teenagers mess around with a basketball at a West London secondary school. One, wearing a backpack, shows off some fancy footwork, but closer inspection of this amateur footage reveals a now famous face. Mohammed Amwazi, confirmed by U.S. officials to be Jihadi John, the executioner who was always hidden behind swaths of black clothing in ISIS videos. Here, too, the Kuwaiti-born accused killer appears shy, an attribute his former head teacher who identified him in this video also recalls.
He was reserved. He didn't have a huge circle of friends, but he had a few good friends. Was bullied a little bit because he was quiet and he was reserved. But generally, he was fine.
Our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people.
It was his distinctive British voice that led to Amwazi being identified. Since then, a fuller picture is emerging. He's described as being a polite young man from a middle-class family. Photographs as a student at London's Westminster University and more recently in Kuwait. A purported audio recording from 2009 released by British Muslim advocacy group Cage UK.
What do you think of 9/11? I told him this is a wrong thing. What happened was wrong.
But for the people who knew him, it is difficult to fathom that the football-loving teenager they knew as Mohammed Amwazi has emerged as the man behind the mask.
What investigators are now looking at is how this teenager, who initially didn't even want to be filmed, somehow ended up volunteering to become the mass murderer you see in those horrific ISIS videos, Michaela.
What a shock.